your attention, please? The podcast is about to begin. Please silence your notifications, close other applications, and direct your full attention to the stage. Presenting Productman.
Hi, I'm Yunus. Welcome to episode 6 of the Productman podcast. In episode 4, we were in the kitchen talking about who cooks the meal. In episode 5, we stepped out into the street, put on a traffic police uniform, and managed that crowded traffic of stakeholders. But now, we are moving away from the city a little bit. We are taking off that police uniform and putting on a detective's trench coat, because today's topic is discovery and MVP. Do you know what the biggest mistake in product management is? Falling in love with an idea, saying, bro, I have an idea, it will definitely work, we will change the world. Then locking yourself up for months to write code, only to create a ghost product that no one uses at the end of the day. Today, I will tell you about the biggest unnecessary feature mistake I made in my career, but not just about myself. I will also talk about how McDonald's acted like a detective to sell milkshakes and how Zappos built a shoe empire without writing a single line of code. If your magnifying glasses are ready, we are going to the crime scene. Let's start. We said detective work. Why a detective? Because the discovery process is not a treasure hunt. It is not about finding a bright idea and shouting, I found it. Discovery is about gathering clues at a crime scene and asking what really happened here. In other words, finding the problem. But we generally love the solution, not the problem. We fall in love with our own ideas. Let me tell you how I fell into the solution trap. In one of the companies I work for, the product I managed did not have a return process. With my perfectionist PM mindset at the time, I made this my personal problem. I said to myself, how can there be a product without a return process? This is incomplete. We must close this gap. I went and forced everyone to build this feature. I convinced the developers, I got approval from the managers. The team worked for days. Return buttons, confirmation screens, we built them all, and we went live. The result? Silence. No one clicked that button, because by the nature of that product, users did not have such a need for returns. I created a perfect solution to a problem that didn't exist. So, how do we identify the problem correctly? Let's go to McDonald's. This story is the famous story of Clayton Christensen, the father of the discovery concept. At one point, McDonald's wanted to increase milkshake sales. They asked customers, how can we make the milkshake better? More chocolate? Cheaper? Customers answered, more chocolate. McDonald's did it, but sales didn't increase. Why? Because Dr. House is right. Everybody lies, or they don't know what they want. Then McDonald's hired a detective, a researcher. The man went and sat in the store and just watched. And he noticed something very interesting. Most milkshakes were sold before 8:30 in the morning, and the buyers were people coming alone, getting in their cars and driving to work. The detective went and asked these guys, why did you buy a milkshake? The answer was, I am going to work, the road is long and boring. I don't want to get hungry, but if I eat a bagel, my hands get dirty. If I eat a banana, it finishes too quickly. The milkshake is thick, it takes 20 minutes to finish, and I can drink it with one hand. It turns out those people were buying the milkshake not because it was sweet, but to be a travel companion. This is called the jobs to be done theory. The customer does not buy the product. They hire that product to get a job done. If I had watched my users in my own return process story, instead of saying, let me put this button here, I would have seen that they handled it by phone and were happy with it. Finding the problem is not enough. You also need to test the solution. I have a memory where I misunderstood the user and hit a wall. I had prepared a prototype for a feature. I was doing user tests. But while doing the test, I had built such an ideal world in my head. The user comes, clicks A, then goes to B. We call this the happy path. I showed it to users, everyone said great, we went live, we got slapped by real life that day. It turned out that real users did not behave like they did in my ideal world. Some lost internet connection, some pressed the back button. The edge cases I never thought of in my happy path scenario became the main scenario in real life. The lesson is this: don't test the user in a laboratory environment, test them in their natural environment, and don't ask, did you like it? They will say, I liked it, just to get rid of you. Give them a task and watch if they can do it. Let's come to the most crucial part. Let's say we found the problem. How will we build the solution? Here comes MVP, minimum viable product. Most people think MVP means half a product. We were going to build a car, but we didn't have time. Here is just a wheel. No, this is not MVP. A wheel alone won't take anyone anywhere. Remember Henrik Nieberg's famous drawing. MVP is not building a wheel first. It is building a skateboard first, then turning that skateboard into a bicycle, then a motorcycle, and finally a car. The goal is to give something that moves and works from the very beginning. Let me tell you a story where we applied this very successfully. At a startup I worked for, we needed to build an app for couriers. Management wanted a full-fledged app with maps and routes. If we tried to build that, it would take months. I stopped there. I said, no, we are going to build a skateboard. We built the simplest version. The courier only sees the order and clicks delivered. No map, no optimization. We released that ugly but working MVP very quickly. The result? Courier processes instantly turned digital. While we were building the spaceship in the background, the company made money for months with that simple skateboard. If you are saying, oh Yunus, do huge companies deal with such simple things? Yes, my friend, the biggest ones started exactly like this. Example 1. Zappos. Nick, the founder of Zappos, wondered, will people buy shoes online? Do you know what he did? He didn't build $1 million warehouse. He didn't hire a software team. He went to a shopping mall, took photos of the products in the shoe store. He put them on a simple website. If someone placed an order, Nick ran to the store, bought the shoe with his own money, went to the post office and shipped it. Did he lose money? Yes. But he learned the answer to the question, will people buy shoes online, without writing a single line of code? This is a real MVP. Example 2. Dropbox. Dropbox founder Drew Houston has an even more interesting story. File synchronization is a technically very difficult job. Coding it can take months, years. Drew prepared a video that pretended the product existed before coding it. In the video, he explained, look, I throw the file here and boom, it appears on the other computer. Actually, there was no code running in the background, just animation. He published this video. Overnight, 75,000 people signed up for the waiting list. He validated the demand, then started coding. So the thing we call MVP is sometimes a video, sometimes an Excel sheet, and sometimes a manual job like Zappos. What matters is not the quality of the code, but the speed of learning. Let's wrap up, my friend. Discovery and MVP are not cool terms written in books. They are survival tools. If you create a solution to a non-existent problem, like I did in the return process, you throw your time in the trash. Be a detective like McDonald's. Find out why the customer hired that product. If you only think about the happy path, like in my prototype mistake, real life will hit you. Test the user in the field, like Zappos, not in the lab. And if you wait for perfection like in the courier app, you will never set off. Verify the demand first, like Dropbox, then build. I am Yunus. Thank you for going on a discovery with me in the 6th episode of Productman. In the next episode, we will dive into the heart of strategy, the famous roadmap topic. Is it a compass or a train schedule? See you. Goodbye.